If you're running paid ads and you're generating shit leads, then this video is for you. I'm going to walk you through the 5 most common reasons you're probably generating poor quality leads in 2026 and exactly how to fix them. So arguably the most important factor when it comes to the lead quality with paid ads is going to come down to which platform you're using. You need to know the pros and cons of each and decide which one makes the most sense for your business. So let's break them down. So the first is Facebook. It's the easiest entry-level platform to use when it comes to running ads. You can post picture ads and you can generate a ton of low-cost leads that are going to come into the pipeline. Simple ads crush. You don't need that much experience when running Facebook ads. Inversely, if you don't have a dialed-in sales process, you don't have lead magnets running that are actually value proven, your offer's not good, and you're just kind of average or maybe even slightly above average, you're going to end up with poor lead quality. And this is really just going to come down to the fact that your ads are based on broad targeting. You can't target people like the other platforms we're going to break down in a minute because of the housing policy. And if you try to do this, you're going to get a high disapproval rate. And this is the other con of Facebook as well. You need to constantly split test and usually create more and more ads because of the Andromeda update as well. Your ads are also going to be disapproved. Inversely, the second platform is Google. This is the opposite of Facebook. It's also very easy to set up, but the difference is that the leads coming into the pipeline are middle of funnel and bottom of funnel heavy. They already know they have an issue. They need to solve the issue, and they're actively on Google searching for that solution. So the quality is going to be significantly higher. With that being said, it's also going to cost a lot more, but we'll break that down in a second. The final pro is also the fact that the conversion rate is the highest. Obviously, if you have the highest quality lead, the chance of you converting it is much higher as well. But like I said, it is extremely expensive. The cost per lead is going to be relatively high, especially if you're an average agent or you're a small wholesale company and you're the only one doing the work, or you have maybe 1 or 2 people under you. It's going to be about $100 cost per lead minimum. Typically, you're going to see $250, $300, $500, sometimes $1,000 cost per lead. And it's very competitive as well. Everyone else is running it. And so the people that have the highest budget are just outbidding everyone. And this is driving up the CPMs. And it's pretty limited in the scalability. It's predictable, but it's not scalable. And then finally, the best of both worlds, what I find is YouTube. And it has advanced targeting capabilities. What I mean by this is you're able to target people based on what Google deems as relevant or in market. They call these in-market audiences. And they also have other things as well. Demographic targeting. They have custom keyword targeting, similar to how Google works as well. And it also has demographic targeting. You can target people that have already visited, let's say people that have visited your website from Google, people that have organically gone to your website. However they found you, you can target these people as well. And the second layer to this is that video, when recording yourself on YouTube, builds trust. Because when people see you on video, they already establish you as the authority and the expert if you actually say things that resonate with them and that offer them some sort of valuable, viable solution to their problem. And so this also has a high conversion percentage as well, just like Google. It's about 80% of the quality that you're going to get from Google, but the cost per lead is going to be significantly best. You're going to usually get a cost per lead of anywhere you can get from like $30 all the way up to like $100 cost per lead if you have a dialed-in sales process. Now, YouTube can easily screw you over when it comes to the cost per lead if you don't record the proper videos, etc., which we're going to get into in the cons. And you can see a cost per lead anywhere from like $500 to like $750. But if you do it right, you can get it as low as $30 to $50. The reason that it costs so much is because it requires quality video ads. And that's one of the cons. The barrier to entry is pretty high because you need to know how to record yourself. You need to know how to resonate with the target audience, who your target audience is. You need to know offers, etc. And you need to have a dialed-in sales process and system. By quality, though, it doesn't necessarily mean you need to spend $1 million on a production budget. All it means is that you need to just follow the basic principles of recording yourself, but you need to have a good offer in place and you need to resonate with your target audience the right way, because the AI algorithm will be able to analyze your transcript and show your videos to those who are actively searching to sell their home, and it'll show the videos to the right people. You just need to have the quality and the offer to back it up. And like I said, it's a mid to high cost per lead. And the other thing is that it's a longer learning cycle. Whereas Google Ads, you can get leads within the first day. Typically, you're going to see anywhere from 7 to 14 days before your first set of leads are going to be coming into the pipeline. But with all of these combined, choose for yourself. The one thing I will say is that a $5 lead that never converts is infinitely more expensive than a $40 lead that actually ends up converting into your pipeline. The second most common lead quality issue I see clients that come to me face is going to be the quizzes or the forms on their landing pages. There's a delicate balance between having too little and too many questions on a landing page. Depending on your offer and depending on your ICP, this can make or break the lead quality, because if you ask, for example, too little questions on targeting homeowners who are in a distressed situation, well, a lot of people are going to submit their information just to kind of test out the waters, see what kind of questions are being asked. And these are the tire kickers and low quality leads. And the Google tag or meta pixel is going to pick up on this, and it's going to show your ads to more people that have also submitted a partial submit, their name and their phone number, where you really needed multiple names, you needed multiple qualifying questions. When are you looking to sell? Is your property listed with a real estate agent, et cetera, et cetera. And if you don't have these questions, then the algorithm's only going to know the tire kickers as being the successful conversions. But if you tag your conversions at the end of the form, this is how the algorithm is going to say, okay, so this was a conversion, these many questions were answered, and so we need more people like that. And when you can successfully find the delicate balance between them for your offer and your ICP, it's going to amplify your success. You're going to increase your conversion rates. You're going to increase your lead quality. It's going to blow up. So what's the actual fix? The fix is that you want to move away from native forms if possible, using the generic Facebook forms, etc., or Instagram. And you want to send traffic to a dedicated landing page with your offer, a VSL, and then your quiz with testimonials, etc., just boosting the authority of your business so that when they submit their information, they feel more comfortable and more reassured that your business is who you say you are. If you're using native forms, you want to add 2 or 3 qualifying questions, to say the least, that require a real answer, not just something that's a pre-fill, name, phone, etc. And you want to include a field that either reveals the budget, the timeline, or their current situation that they're in, because this is sensitive information that they're not just going to reveal immediately. And they need to, someone who's actively in the market looking to sell, for example, is going to reveal this information that's actually motivated because they know it's urgent and they need to get it done. Whereas someone who's more of a tire kicker is not going to feel more inclined to give this sensitive information. And the biggest thing I noticed once we fix this for clients is a drop in volume, typically around 50%. And this scares a lot of the clients at first, but when we break down the numbers, we see that it actually is more beneficial. Why? Because let's say you're closing the same amount of people, but your volumes dropped 50%. So you had a total of 50 leads before you started working and optimizing your system. And now you have 25, but in both systems, you still closed 5. The difference is now your team or you or whoever's working the leads has cut their workflow in half, but they've achieved the same thing. So you can allocate your time to more things, creating more videos, more quality, dedicating to more learning time, etc. And this is how you scale your business, because you're getting the same quality, but you're spending the same amount of money. So here's an example of a form. Is your property listed? How quick are you looking to sell? What's your property's current condition? And then having them submit their information. Just this quick switch on a dedicated landing page. This is just a quiz page. But if you can have this is going to dramatically change the lead quality. Whereas if they just landed on your landing page and you asked them for their first name, last name, email, and phone, you would have gotten a completely different lead. Now, reason number 3 is going to be your offer. I always say chicken bait attracts chickens, whale bait attracts whales. So what does this mean? If you have a generic lead magnet, you're going to attract people that want free things, not actual buyers. And when you have things like vague or generic call to actions, learn more or get started, and they don't signal what's next for the buyer, this is also going to attract low commitment clickers. Offers that don't match buyer stage, offering a consult to someone who's still in the awareness stage, creates premature friction. Also, things like discounts and freebies as entry points train your leads to expect deals, which is going to poison the sales conversation before it even starts. So what's the meaning of this? The difference between a weak offer and a strong one is specificity. A weak offer is going to be a free home selling guide. A strong offer would be a 20-minute revenue audit for homeowners looking to get 10% more on your area home. Match your offer to the buyer temperature. Cold audiences need low-risk offers, a check, a quiz, etc., or a short training that first builds trust. But warm audiences who have already seen you are ready for something more of substance, like a webinar, a case study, a free audit, etc. And hot audiences who have engaged multiple times, who are actively searching, you want to hit them with a direct book a call offer. Start a trial, get a quote, book a call, because they're ready to move now. And you need to have different ads for different stages for different audiences in the pipeline. And if you don't know who your audience is and where they're at in the buyer phase, you're just simply going to keep attracting the worst leads possible. So for an example of the copy, here's an example of the headline: sell your house fast without the hassle. No showings, no fees, no stress. And then they have the option to put in their address and their phone number to then get an offer. Now, obviously, like I said before, you do want to have obviously enough information on the quiz. But with this specific example, a property address is a pretty sensitive thing to input, and the phone number is just to send them information. And this is enough for you. And then on the second page, this is where you can add a secondary form. But like I said, anyway, the point is just adding case studies and testimonials, why sell with you, the process of selling, etc. And this is going to streamline the process insanely, because sell your house fast without the hassle, it's touching on two things: fast, which is the timeline, without the hassle, which is the effort associated with selling. So if you can solve these problems, this is the copy, this is the people you're looking for. No showings, no fees, no stress, all the objections people have. And all they need to do is input their property address and their phone number, and they can get a cash offer. You can get all the information you need. It's sensitive, and it's the balance between having too many or too little questions. But like you saw before, when you have certain qualifying questions after they submit this is how you're going to win people over. Reason number 4 is coming down to the copy of your ads. So continuing on the thread of offers, your copy surrounding your offer needs to resonate with the correct audience. Clicks from the wrong people are often worse than no clicks at all, because they inflate your costs, they're poisoning your algorithm's learning, and they're wasting your sales team's time. Inversely, great ad copy is selective. So how do you fix this? You want to name the exact situation in line 1. Inherited property, going through divorce, behind on payments, relocating, first-time home buyer, downsizing, empty nester. These are all different ICPs, ideal client profiles. And if you don't know these, and if you don't call this out, you're going to be attracting people, again, that are not in your market, and you're wasting money. If your ideal lead reads one line and thinks, "That's me," you've already done 90% of the work. You also want to add a timeline signal as well. Close in 14 days, find a home before school starts, sell before the year end, because people who aren't serious about those timelines self-select out. A final note here, which people think is obvious but never implemented anyway, is be honest about what you're offering. If you're a wholesaler, don't be obscure that you're a cash buyer who won't pay retail. The sellers who are okay with that are the only ones you want to talk to anyway, because they know they need to sell. They know they want a cash offer. And if you're just going to be transparent with them, trust is at an all-time low. You want to make sure you're building trust. Why waste your time trying to evade the truth when you can just say the truth and attract the people that actually are going to come to you? So here's an example of copy. This is a niche specific person. This is for someone who's inherited a home, or they're in probate and they need to get out of their situation. We're calling them out directly. Did you inherit a house in location in your area that's just sitting there costing you money? Whoops. Here's how to sell without lifting a finger. Then we go into the body. We buy inherited properties as is, no repairs, no cleanouts, no inspections, etc. You don't have to empty the house. You don't have to fix anything. But you get the point. We're calling them out, and we're touching on the pain points, and we're offering the solutions that we do, and we take care of all the hassle for you. And this way, you don't have to deal with the cleanouts, the repairs, the inspections, the fees, all of that stuff. And if you're ready to settle the estate and move forward, click the button below and answer a few questions so we can understand the situation and help you move forward. Click the button below to get started. So you get the point. We're calling them out. We're touching on the pain points, offering our solution, and then having a clear call to action about what you need to do and who needs to move forward in order to get the highest quality lead. And the final reason that you get bad lead quality from paid ads is going to be your follow-up system. You can fix your platform, you can tighten your form, you can sharpen your offer, you can write better copy, everything we went over. And you can still get terrible ROI if your follow-up is slow, generic, or just non-existent. Leads don't go cold because they're not interested. This is the game-changing mindset shift you need to have. They go cold because you've waited too long, and by the time you reach out, they've moved on with their day, they've talked themselves out of it, or they've heard it from someone else first. All right? If a lead opts in, you only have 20 minutes where you have their full attention, and this is called the mere exposure effect. So, what does this mean? This means that you need to have multiple touch points within the first 20 minutes to an hour, going over your business, what you do, why you do it, who you've worked with, how you've helped them solve their problems that are similar to the people that are opting in. And if you don't, they're going to lose interest and they're not going to end up working with you and they're going to forget about you. But they saw you from the first place. They wanted to work with someone who could solve their problems. They resonated with something in the ad. Now you just need to show them you are who you say you are so that when eventually you get on the phone with them, they remember you, they know you, they like you, they trust you, and they end up actually converting and working with you. Now, if you're interested on the specific messaging or the types of emails you should be sending, I have a whole video breaking that down on my channel, so go check that out. I just broke down the 5 most common problems that realtors and wholesalers are running into with paid ads. Now, if you had a problem I didn't cover, I'd be happy to break that down in a future video if you drop a comment breaking down your problem. That aside, that's the end of this video, and I'll see you in the next one.